Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
It's almost time to hit the polling stations and cast your ballot in local elections, but those who can't make it to the polls on Election Day will have another option. Good evening, I'm Caitlin Marshall. Thanks for joining us. Early voting and absentee voting starts October 6th in Athens County. Penny Brooks, Deputy Director of the Athens County Board of Elections, said county residents can prepare themselves by doing their research on local issues and viewing sample ballots before voting.
Issue 1, 2, and 3 are pretty large issues. Some of the subdivisions have also issues out there, like Nelsonville has 5 issues on the ballot. So kind of be familiar of what issues are going to be in your area. I think that's a big thing.
Voters can get more information on the Board of Elections website at www.electionsonthe.net/oh/Athens. A Gloucester man is staying in prison after an appeals court upheld his conviction on multiple sex offenses. According to the Athens Messenger, an appeals court upheld the gross sexual imposition conviction of 78-year-old Thomas Shiflett, but ordered a resentencing in the case. Shiflett was initially sentenced to 5 years in prison for an incident involving a young child. More than $80 million worth of people's assets have been taken and kept by Ohio's government within the last 10 years, all because they were suspected to be involved in some sort of criminal activity. But some of those items were never linked to a crime or returned to their owners. Now, a proposed bill is reforming Ohio's process of civil asset forfeiture and would require a conviction in order for the government to withhold property. The proposed bill would require forfeitures to be processed through criminal proceedings and would place the burden of proof on the state instead of the person.
We know where those assets are going. We know, how much is taken, but we don't know whether these assets that are taken are ever connected to a criminal conviction.
This legislation is long overdue and will provide a welcomed relief to the many Ohioans whose property is taken away from them, oftentimes without any recourse or hope of recouping their lost assets.
Opponents believe the proposal is short-sighted and does not take into account the true function of civil forfeiture. For more information about this story, you can head over to our website at woub.org. Both police and the community are gearing up for food and conversation tomorrow on the OU campus. From 6 to 8 p.m., the Joint Police Advisory Council is hosting the second annual Police Community Barbecue. The barbecue is being used as an effort to improve communication about law enforcement, according to the organizers. The event will be held at the intersection of Park Place and South Court Street.
Good evening, my name is Josh Gregory, and I'm with you with your Newswatch weather for today. Athens County is sitting at around 70 degrees right now, but it'll feel a little cooler with that rain going on. We've got a lot of rain, and careful if you're going out on the roads because it will be a little slippery, and we'll see that rain kind of dissipate at around 10 o'clock tonight. Winds coming in from the northeast at about 5 miles per hour, and we've got the humidity listed at 95%. Pressure a little lower than usual at 29.89 inches, and around the area you'll see that temperatures overnight will be a little cooler than usual, but hey, it's roughly the same. 60 degrees in Columbus, 57 in New Lex. Chillicothe is at 58, and we'll see showers start to go away during that. And a look at my extended forecast, I'll be touching on showers and thunderstorms at a strong chance of those. Stronger winds will be coming our way in the night, but we will see temperatures start to cool down in the night and throughout the week.
The Ohio Turnpike is heading for a milestone this week. The state's only toll road turns 60 years old on Thursday. The road opened in 1955 and saw 10 million drivers travel on it during the first full year. There were 51 million traveling on the road just last year. Officials plan to celebrate the anniversary with events along the road tomorrow and Thursday. The last 2 abortion clinics in Southwest Ohio will remain open for the time being. A federal judge ruled today that the clinics will remain open while they fight to keep their state operating licenses. Planned Parenthood of Southwest Ohio and Women's Med Group need a transfer agreement with a nearby hospital in the case of an emergency. Without an agreement, they can lose their operating licenses. Currently, no hospitals have agreed to partner with the clinics. Ohio is receiving federal funds to combat methamphetamine-related crimes. The U.S. Department of Justice is giving the Buckeye State more than $1 million to curb manufacturing of meth and meth-related crimes. The grant will help officials investigate manufacturing and distribution of the drug. The grant, announced Monday, is going to the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigations and will help investigate activities related to the manufacture and distribution of the illicit drug. Officials in West Virginia are also announcing an initiative to combat drug abuse, focusing on Ohio County. The initiative will include state and federal law enforcement officials, as well as representatives from area schools. It is said to be an innovative approach to blunt substance abuse. And 4 high schools in Fayette County won't be consolidating in the coming year. The State School Building Authority has denied a funding plan to build a new high school. This would combine Fayetteville, Meadow Bridge, and Midland Trail, along with Oak Hill High School. The county sought nearly $60 million for the new school. County voters rejected a bond issue in June that would have consolidated 3 of the 4 high schools. Charleston citizens may be paying higher water rates. West Virginia American Water is seeking approval for a 28% water rate increase. The Kanawha County Commission, along with the city of Charleston, are filing a petition to intervene. The company says they have to raise the rates to fund system improvements and future projects. If approved, average monthly bills would increase by nearly $12. President Obama met with Cuba's leaders today. What they discussed following yesterday's General Assembly. And what the head of Planned Parenthood's lawmakers said today. Find out more when Newswatch returns.
I decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
President Obama met with Cuban leader Raul Castro today at the UN General Assembly in New York. Both leaders addressed the General Assembly on Monday. Castro spoke about the damaging effects of the embargo. He also said territory occupied by the U.S. naval base Guantanamo should be returned to Cuba. The talks come as the U.S. and Cuba continue efforts to restore diplomatic ties. For Castro, it was his first visit to the U.S. in more than 50 years. Both U.S. and Cuban embassies reopened in Havana and Washington this summer. On the congressional floor today, House Majority Whip Steve Scalise is entering the race to become the next House Majority Leader. The Louisiana Republican announced his intention to seek the post in a letter today. Scalise told House Republicans he would deliver results if elected Majority Leader. Scalise was widely expected to seek the position, but he faces competition from Georgia Congressman Tom Price, who's already locked down some key endorsements. Current Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy announced Monday he is running for Speaker of the House. The GOP scramble was set off when current House Speaker John Boehner announced he'll resign from Congress next month. The head of Planned Parenthood testified before a House Oversight Committee today. Cecily Richards told lawmakers that defunding Planned Parenthood would be disastrous. She'll argue the loss of federal funding will immediately leave 650,000 women with little to no preventative health care. Richards says other healthcare organizations cannot pick up the slack. Conservative critics have called on Planned Parenthood to lose federal funding after an anti-abortion group released videos it says shows the group makes money off the sale of fetal tissue. Planned Parenthood denies the allegations.
Now, while the federal policy, in my opinion, discriminates against low-income women, no federal funds pay for abortion services at Planned Parenthood or anywhere else, except in the very limited circumstances allowed by law. These are when the woman has been raped, has been the victim of incest, or when her life is endangered.
The House is expected to vote on a funding bill tomorrow. No word yet on whether or not Planned Parenthood's funding will be a part of the funding package. People in Taiwan are bracing themselves for possible floods and landslides after Typhoon Duan dumped heavy rain in the mountains. The storm killed at least 2 people and injured more than 300 others. Duan has weakened and is now passing over southeastern China. On Wall Street today, Shell is the latest of the oil major to either abandon its Arctic ambitions as the decreasing price of oil puts more projects on hold. Here's a look at stocks of local interest.
Sorry. Good evening, and I'm Josh Gregory. Like I said before, how cool will it get this week? I'll get to that in my extended forecast. Stay tuned.
I support one student in college with a scholarship. Just the way I want to pass on a legacy of education. I would like to pass PBS on to the next generation. I like to think that PBS is concerned with our soul. If your soul is in the right place, you're giving back.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Okay.
Good evening from the Newswatch Weather Center. My name is Josh Gregory. Here's a look at today's weather. 70 degrees, like I said before, is your temperature with a lot of rain going on right now. We'll see that clear up hopefully around 10 o'clock tonight. 5-mile-per-hour winds coming in from the northeast. 69 degrees is our dew point. 95% is our humidity. Pressure a little lower than usual. 29.89 is what it's listed as. And looking around the area, you'll see we've got 71 degrees in New Martinsville and down in Marietta, and we've got 71 in Columbus, 70 degrees in Athens. It's still rainy everywhere, so make sure you have your umbrella handy. And 70 degrees today is our high, right around the average, a lot lower than 93 degrees, which was your record in 1953. 59 degrees our low, again, much higher than the average, than the record low. And looking in our area, you'll see where the culprit is for these storm systems. These black areas right here, right around Ohio and West Virginia, is what's causing all of these storms and these potential thunderstorms to happen. But the high pressure systems in the west will move them east and northeast into the upper area of our country. And then we'll see that start to go away as tomorrow comes. And looking at our lows around the area, you'll see 59 in Athens, 58 in Chillicothe, 60 in Columbus, getting lower everywhere, but still consistent throughout our areas. And so plan your day accordingly. 67 is going to be your temperature at 8, dipping down to 65 and 62 in the morning. And you'll see it is still going to rain, but it should clear up by tomorrow. So make sure you have your umbrella for tonight because it's 59 degrees with rain still going. And we'll see our winds get a little stronger. They'll go to 5 to 6 miles per hour coming from the northeast. And at the bus stop tomorrow, make sure you might want to keep those umbrellas because it might rain. 60 degrees will be that temperature though, and it'll be mostly cloudy with that slight chance of rain. Wind should be a little stronger, right around 8 miles per hour. And looking at our extended, you will see that 73 is our temperature for today, and it'll get to 67 tomorrow, 62, lows somewhere between 50 and 49, and as we get into the weekend, Friday 58, and it'll stay around that area, 60, 61 Saturday and Sunday. Rain, it's getting down to about 30%, but it should clear up by next week. Caitlin, back to you.
All right, thanks, Josh. Here's an update on a story we brought you last year. Last August, ISIS launched an assault on the Sinjar province in Iraq, targeting the Yazidi minority. Activists say 3,000 Yazidis were killed and more than 5,000 kidnapped. Many of them were women. That attack also triggered an exodus. As hundreds of thousands of people fled their homes, CNN's Ivan Watson has been reporting on the plight of the Yazidis and caught up with one family he first met during a desperate rescue.
It was a rescue from hell. In the mad dash to climb on board a flight to safety, families scrambled to stay together. These desperate people spent 9 days trapped on a barren mountain under siege from ISIS militants who chased them from their homes. Amid the chaos and gunfire, terror frozen on the face of a girl in purple, 14-year-old Aziza Hamed. More than a year later, we found Aziza and her family in this refugee camp in Iraqi Kurdistan.
I'm looking forward to this. We're going to meet some old friends that we encountered in very dramatic circumstances more than a year ago. And they're right up here. Dunya, how are you?
Aziza and her older 18-year-old sister Dunya are here, along with their elder brother Thabit, his wife, and his 3 children. Their situation now much better than the unfinished construction site where they lived for the first 7 months after ISIS made them flee their homes.
Got him.
The girls tell me they go to school here, and they say the camp has started to feel like home.
Aziza, you've gotten a little taller than Dunya since I saw you last.
But it does not take long for terrible memories to resurface.
What's making you sad right now?
When I see you, Aziza says, I remember what happened.
We saw ISIS with our own eyes, how they were capturing people. If we drove down the wrong road that day, we would have ended up in ISIS' hands, but we took a different road and made it to the mountain.
In the years since their narrow escape, their father's health has deteriorated and he can no longer walk. No one knows what happened to two elder brothers who were captured by ISIS last year and haven't been heard from since. And another brother, 23-year-old Karim, smuggled himself to Europe on the migrant trail taken by so many other people fleeing the Middle East.
Hey, Karim. Hello. Hey, how are you? Where are you?
Deutschland.
Germany.
Yeah.
I asked Karim if he misses Iraq.
No, that's gone. Iraq is gone for me. I lost it. I want to build a new future for myself. There is no future in Iraq.
That hopelessness shared by so many people we talked to in refugee camps in northern Iraq, where people like Aziza and Dunya's older brother Thabit still struggle to deal with the trauma they endured. I just want to start a new life, he says, and I want my family to stay safe and to stay together. One of the few times 15-year-old Aziza really smiles is when I ask her what she'd like to do to the men from ISIS who attacked her family. I would stomp on their heads and kill them, she says. This girl may have escaped to live another day, but her innocence has been forever lost. Ivan Watson, CNN, Dahok, Iraqi Kurdistan.
Thousands of Yazidis have been taken captive. Many still haven't heard from relatives lost in the escape.
I'm Michael Groucho, and coming up, I'll take a look at a pair of baseball teams trying to make a late push for the playoffs, and after a pair of outstanding performances, an Ohio volleyball player received a pair of awards. Next on Newswatch. Stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
My granddaughter is named June Elizabeth, but I call her Junebug. My hope is to teach her about kindness and about the love of animals and nature. I want Junebug to have the same opportunities I had by watching PBS. My husband and I feel so strongly about our PBS station that we've included them in our estate plan. PBS is part of our values, and we want to pass it on to the next generation.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
The student body here at Ohio University absolutely is a family.
The students support one another.
You become this unit, this big, friendly family unit.
There's this connectedness.
You feel a part of something.
Driving in on the highway and just seeing the red bricks and the trees again, it's just like coming back home.
There's great students, great professors.
You just walk around campus and think, oh my gosh, I can't believe I go here.
I feel like I matter in the community, and I feel like I matter here at Ohio University.
It's home. Athens is home. My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like we're having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Welcome back, I'm Michael Drapcho. With October right around the corner, baseball's playoff push is in full swing, and several teams are aiming to make a move in the postseason race. Going into last night's series opener against St. Louis, the Pittsburgh Pirates sat 3 games behind the Cardinals for first place in the NL Central, with a chance to catch the Cards for the division crown. However, the Pirates fell to St. Louis 3-0. Neither team got any runs across until the top of the ninth when the Cardinals scored all 3 of their runs. Matt Carpenter kicked things off in the ninth when he singled off Mark Melancon and came around to score after Gregory Polanco and Andrew McCutchen both failed to field John Jay's single cleanly. Then Mark Reynolds tacked on 2 more when he went yard off Melancon. The Bucs now sit 4 games back with only 5 games left in the season. The 2015 Cleveland Indians are trying to relive their 2013 run to the wild card, but after last night's 4-2 loss to Minnesota, it looks like the Tribe will be on the outside looking in for the 2015 postseason. Corey Kluber picked up the loss after surrendering 7 hits and 4 earned in 6 innings. The lone bright spot for the Tribe was Francisco Lindor. Shortstop added to his case for Rookie of the Year by going deep in the first inning. The loss puts Cleveland 5 games behind Houston for the second wildcard spot with only 7 left to play. Bobcat senior Abby Gilliland is no stranger to awards, and today she took home 2 more honors. After leading Ohio to a pair of victories over the weekend, Gilliland received MAC East Offensive and Defensive Player of the Week. In wins over Bowling Green and Miami, the senior totaled 70 assists, 31 digs, 20 kills, and 3 assisted blocks. This is the first time Gilliland has received any honors this season, but she's the 3rd Bobcat to be named Player of the Week. Gilliland is the first player to sweep both awards in over 2 years. Another Bobcat received some good news today as former Ohio wide receiver Dante Foster signed with the Minnesota Vikings practice squad. This will be Foster's 2nd stint with the Vikings. He originally signed with Minnesota as an undrafted free agent following the 2014 NFL Draft. Foster had a prolific career with the Bobcats as he became only the 2nd player in Ohio history to surpass 1,000 receiving yards in a single season. And with basketball season rapidly approaching, teams are opening up training camp and prepping for the upcoming season. The Cleveland Cavaliers learned today that they will be without one of their key players for the beginning of the season. Shooting guard Iman Shumpert has a ruptured extensor carpi ulnaris sheath in his right wrist, and that requires surgery. The shooting guard will likely miss 12 to 14 weeks, and after being traded to Cleveland from the Knicks last season, Shump immediately made an impact, giving the Cavs a shutdown perimeter defender. I'm Michael Drapcho, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Caitlin.
Thanks, Michael. Caffeine up. Today is National Coffee Day. How does one celebrate? Well, that should be obvious. A number of coffee and restaurant chains, including Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme, Tim Hortons, McDonald's, and Whole Foods, are offering free coffee or discounted coffee for the day. Some are going the charitable route, such as Caribou Coffee. For every cup of coffee sold today, they're donating 1 to nurses and families in cancer centers. And Josh, should we curl up with a cup of coffee tonight? How's it going to look outside?
Thanks, Caitlin. It'll look pretty good. I mean, rain will continue, but it should clear up around 10 o'clock tonight. However, the skies will be a little cloudy. So going into tomorrow, we may see that chance of rain continue, but it'll still be mostly cloudy, so we might not see the sun peek out. And winds should increase to 5 to 11 miles per hour coming in from the northeast. And if you look at our extended forecast, you'll see that the temperature will start to decrease as we get further along in the week. We'll get it to about 60 degrees when we get to the weekend. And as the temperature cools down, the slight chance of rain will start to decrease as well. So, Caitlin, a little bit of rain, a little cooler. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Josh. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Caitlin Marshall. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime online at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
decided to do a planned gift because I want to ensure that PBS will be around for my grandchildren and hopefully great-grandchildren. I would hope that others, when doing their estate planning, would include their PBS station. My PBS station is part of my community. That's something I really value.